How to never quit learning your target language if you're lazy, or maybe even extremely lazy like I am. So let's get into it. When it comes to learning a language the smart way, or dare I say even the maybe genius way, as I like to put it personally, but that's me. You might think that putting as much effort as you think you might need, or staying disciplined, or never giving up, or whatever else is the key to actually achieve any sort of meaningful outcomes when it comes to language learning. But, sorry, but it couldn't be further from the truth because it's the exact opposite. And let's get into it. Let's get into the actual facts, the sauce of why. So, but before we do that, of course, who am I to tell you that? I'm glad you asking that. That's a very good sign. Um, I'm just a humble guy, I guess. Maybe not so humble. I've learned 6+ languages, as I say, to at least a fluent degree. Well, it depends what you mean by fluent, but I've mastered quite a few languages. So, um, in my humble opinion, when it comes to learning languages, it's not as much about quantity as it's about quality. But that's just my personal approach, of course. You might have a different opinion, that's perfectly valid. So, when it comes to learning a language to a proficient degree, to a very proficient degree, to a native like degree, what you might think, as said, is that you need to put a lot of effort and just concentrate on putting in as much as you can, as much time as you can, as you humanly are able to. But I have a very different opinion of it, and it's is backed by 10+ years of actually learning, putting in the effort into learning to a high degree languages, European languages such as Italian, Spanish, French, German, Swedish, and actually English too. So, what I've found is that when it comes to learning a language, or as said, maybe even mastering, it doesn't play such a big role as you might think. Um, well, putting in, stressing out, putting in as much effort as you can, as said, doesn't play such a fundamental role, if you will. What plays the biggest role is actually the exact opposite, counterintuitively, as it may be, but it is. It is actually having fun along the way and enjoying the journey, playing around, as I like to put it. So you basically need to find, in order to, but of course, it's a little bit maybe vague. You might ask yourself, well, what do you mean exactly? Even though it's kind of, it might be explained in and of itself, but still. First of all, you need to find the reason why you're doing that thing. So in this particular instance, why are you even learning the language to begin with? What's your personal motivation? What's anyone's personal motivation? Not just yours, I guess. You need to figure that out. Is it to impress people? Is it because you like the culture, you like talking to people, career paths, you name it? So you need to establish exactly why, and that's going to give you a roadmap of how to get from A to B, let's say. I think that's a pretty straightforward way of putting it. So after you figure out why exactly you need to learn a language, then it's going to be quite easy to just, as I say, play around with it and achieve the goal that you're aiming at or toward, whatever. So the main question then would be how to find this reason and to adapt this reason to your particular personality type, I guess, if you're more on the introverted side, or extroverted, or what are your preferences, what are your hobbies, what do you like to do, you like hanging out, you're a recluse like I am, whatever it might be. You need to basically make an entire blueprint of how you're going to construct that language journey, if you want to be technical about it, as I tend to be. But you don't have to be technical, really. You just need to know what you're supposed to do. So on that note, I want to wish you